What's up, YouTube? I'm Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 fragrances, designer fragrances, let me emphasize that leave a sexy scent trail. Now, I've done this kind of video before in the past, but I've had some of my subscribers reach out to me and say, hey man, well, you know, those fragrances there were a lot of expensive fragrances on that list. Listen, I told you I got you, and look, I got you. This fragrance video today is only going to feature designer fragrances. No niche on this list. 10 designer fragrances that leave a sexy scent trail, or as we refer to it as, that sexy sillage. So if you want to see what's on the list today, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump into the list. As I said, my name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. On this channel, I talk about fragrances as well as fashion. So if you love looking good and smelling great, it's a channel for you. Consider hitting the subscribe button and also make sure you hit the bell icon as well so that when I upload new content on the channel, YouTube will notify you. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to mention on this list today comes from the house of Azzaro, and this is called Azzaro Wanted by Night. Azzaro Wanted by Night. The reason I think the sillage is so good on this is because it performs so great. Apple, cinnamon, you have some tobacco, some isoe super leather, benzoin as it dries down. This stuff is powerful and it smells great. It's really sweet and really strong. So that's a great combination for a pretty nice scent trail. It projects really good for about the first 2.5 to 3 hours, honestly. And then it starts to get a little bit closer to the skin, but not extremely close. Like I said, this is an amazing performer right here. And that great performance, again, contributes to the fact that people can really pick this up and that it really lingers in the air. So check this one out from the house of Azzaro. This is Azzaro's Wanted by Night. All right, next up on the list, this fragrance comes from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, and this one is called Ultra Male. Ultra Male. I had a 50 ml bottle of this and it's about gone, so I went on ahead this time and got the big bottle. This fragrance, just like I talked about with Azzaro Wanted by Night, it's a really, really sweet fragrance. It's a really sweet fragrance that also performs great. And again, that really gives people the opportunity to really smell this fragrance in the air when they walk by you. They don't have to be really, really close to pick this one up because again, it's such a sweet and pronounced fragrance. It has pear, which is the main note to my nose in the opening of this fragrance. That signature mint lavender combination that you get from most Le Male fragrances from the lineage of the original Ultra Male. And it's good, man. You also have some cinnamon in this one as well, vanilla on the dry down, combination and a recipe for a fragrance that has great sillage and that people can smell that's going to linger in the air. So check this one out from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is called Ultra Male. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list comes from the house of Maison Margiela, the replica line, and this one is called Jazz Club. Jazz Club, and this is another one that really lingers in the air, man. And it's very, very pleasant when your nose catches this fragrance in the air. Rum, of course, you have some tobacco in this as well, which of course, you know, you think about being in a jazz club, you think about drinks, you think about smoke. This stuff right here is really good. So check this one out from the house of Maison Margiela. Again, this is called Jazz Club. All right, guys, the next fragrance that I have on this list that in my experience is really good with people being able to pick it up and again, therefore leaving a nice scent trail. This one comes from the house of Giorgio Armani, and this is Code Profumo. Armani Code Profumo. Man, listen, I love the opening of this fragrance. It almost gives something in this a chocolatey kind of vibe. But it comes from cardamom, green apple, and green mandarin when it opens up. The dry down is really, to me, about the tonka bean and the leather. So another fragrance on this list that really, for a designer scent, really gives you some great performance. And that's what you'll see is kind of the theme, man. Honestly, in my experience, a lot of fragrances that have a nice scent trail that really goes on for hours are, of course, fragrances that have pretty good performance. And that's what you'll find with this scent right here. So it's kind of got that sweet kind of chocolatey thing going on with this scent. And then again, a nice kind of sweet leathery tonka bean dry down. This stuff is good, man. Again, it leaves an amazing scent trail in my experience. So check this one out, man. Again, from the house of Giorgio Armani, this is called Profumo. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list for me in my experience that has been great with sillage comes from the house of Christian Dior, and this is Dior Homme Parfum. Dior Homme Parfum. Listen, there's still that same thing that you get from Dior Homme Intense, but this one adds more leather. So you still get that kind of powderiness that you get from the original Dior Homme with the iris, but this one is more about the leather. And man, when I tell you, this thing lingers in the air and it wafts off of my skin and it sticks around for a long time. Very good on the scent trail, very good sillage with this one right here. So check it out from the house of Christian Dior. This is called Dior Homme Parfum. All right, the next fragrance on my list comes from the house of Cartier, and this is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Pasha de Cartier Parfum, probably one of the best, if not the best fragrance released from the year of 2020. This thing is really boozy, it's sweet. I think there's tonka bean in here. There's a boozy accord in here as well. It's spicy. Oh man, this stuff is good. You need to really check this one out. If you haven't really checked this one out, to me it kind of flew under the radar, but people that really know about fragrances knows about this scent. It is amazing. And again, theme of the list, it performs great. Oh man, such a great creation for, especially in the designer realm of fragrances. And again, this is one that really sticks around for a long time. And when the wind catches this, look out. So check this one out from the house of Cartier. This is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. All right, the next fragrance up on the list comes from the house of Chanel, and this is Egoiste. Egoiste. I had to put one on this list that has great sillage for the grown and sexy. Man, this stuff is good. It kind of reminds me, I said this before, of musk ravageur to some extent. You got the musk in here. You have rose, you have cinnamon, carnation, vanilla. Man, this stuff is really, really good. And again, it's Chanel. So Chanel to me is one of those designer fragrance houses that really does quality fragrances. Most of the fragrances I smell from Chanel, even if they may not be my cup of tea, are really done well. And this one is done well. It performs good. It's great off of my skin as it relates to projection and sillage. So one of my favorites from the house of Chanel. Doesn't get as much talk as it used to in the community, but it's good nonetheless. Again, this is called Egoiste. All right, guys, probably the best oud designer fragrance that you're going to find on the market. This is from the house of Costume National, and this is called Soul. This one is called Soul. Man, again, if you like oud, you need to check this one out. Again, probably to me the best oud designer fragrance. This can compete with a lot of niche fragrances that feature the note of oud. Oud, leather, but what I like about it, of course, is a little bit of sweetness. There's some vanilla when it dries down. This stuff is magical. Performs great, sticks around for a long time. And again, like I said before with some other fragrances on this list, it's good to wear this when it's cold outside and when in that cold air and this thing hits your skin, especially if you like wearing it on your, like I like to wear my fragrances on the front side of my hand, that wind hits it. Oh man, this one is a beauty to behold for the nose. So make sure you actually check this one out as well. This is from the house of Costume National. This is called Soul. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list comes from the house of Guerlain, and this is L'Homme Ideal, and this is the EDP concentration. You know what this fragrance is? It's almond, it's cherry, but this one has that amped up leather note again. So the leather, comparatively speaking to the other ones, give this fragrance some increased performance. And with that being said, it has better sillage. The sillage, it lasts longer than the EDT. They smell very similar, but again, you want to get that leather in here that really differentiates this from the EDT. And it just really works, guys. So make sure you check this one out from the house of Guerlain. This is L'Homme Ideal. This is the EDP concentration. All right, guys, and the last fragrance on this list, oh, man, this one comes from the house of Tom Ford, and this is called Black Orchid. Black Orchid, man, this is the EDT. The EDP is a bit much for me. It seems like those florals are enhanced a little bit more in that one. But man, the EDT is just right. It opens up, man, you have this beautiful combination of the Guerlain and you have dark truffle. So it gives this chocolatey floral thing in the opening. You get some fruity accords as it kind of moves to the heart, and on the dry down you get of course, the vanilla, and that really rounds this scent out. You know, that sweetness that you get from vanilla is kind of really creamy when it dries down. This stuff is just something good that you need to get your nose on. I've smelled this on both guys and females. In both instances, it was great as far as the sillage and the projection of it in the scent trail. So definitely one of the tops in the designer side as you talk about scent trail, sexy scent trail from the house of Tom Ford. Again, this is called Black Orchid. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this list today as I gave you 10 designer fragrances that have a very sexy scent trail. As always, I appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do. And I sincerely appreciate that. Now, if you don't mind, take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos out to some other folks that could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, the bow tie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.